x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So when we're dealing with the unit circle, things change a little bit for the trig functions. We still have our x and our y, but the square root of x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. And so sine is y over 1. So now, in the unit circle, sine is just y. Sine of theta is equal to y. Cosecant is 1 over y, the reciprocal. Cosine is just going to be x, and the secant is going to be 1 over x. The tangent is going to be y over x. The cotangent is going to be x over y. So we've really simplified sine and cosine, and cosecant and secant. Let's practice it down here. So when they say the sine of pi over 6, well, I look at pi over 6 on the unit circle. And pi over 6 has the coordinates square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. Well, this tells us the sine is equal to y, and the y value there is 1/2. So the sine of pi over 6 is just 1/2 using the unit circle. Let's try the cosine of pi over 6. Cosine, we know, is x. We just found the point for pi over 6, square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. And since cosine is x, it's just the square root of 3 over 2. Square root of 3 over 2. Now when we have the tangent's pi over 6, so the tangent is going to be y over x. So it's going to be 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2. Well, I'm going to use this space to do this work. 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2. Remember, this fraction bar means division. When we divide fractions, we take the first, 1/2, divided by the second, square root of 3 over 2. And one way we learn to do this is by keeping the first fraction, changing the sign from division to multiplication, and flipping the second one, 2 over square root of 3. Some teachers might say keep, change, flip. And then we have 1 times 2 over 2 times square root of 3. The 2's cancel, and we get 1 over the square root of 3. Rationalize, multiply top and bottom by the square root of 3, which is the square root of 3 over 3. So there is a little work to this one. That's going to be square root of 3 over 3. And then this one's asking for the cosine of pi over 4. Well, our point for pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Remember, cosine is the x value, so we're looking at this. So it's the square root of 2 over 2, and that is the value there. So with the unit circle, we have these easier trig identities, trig values that we can use when using the unit circle. Sometimes it gets, we get a double fraction. We're going to have to use keep, change, flip and divide our fractions out. But other than that, this is going to be a lot more simple.